Hello, hello. You are here with Dave Jose. I pray that you guys are all well. We are getting ready to have a super huge moment. We are getting ready to have a big day, I should say. A lot of you guys know that we have watched a lot of people in America get unlawfully prosecuted. It was not just one or two people, but tons of people have been unlawfully arrested. Please forgive me. Unlawfully arrested, and a lot of people have been unlawfully persecuted. And we can see in the scriptures that in Isaiah 49, God tells us of how there was a time, and it seems that He has a pattern of allowing this to happen, where God raises up someone or raises up people, let them suffer, and teaches them His law. And he does this in a way that allow for him to make the law pure again. Now we are waiting for some people to come on, guys, but we are getting ready to take care of one of the most important things that probably will happen at this time in history. Not because it's just dealing with President Trump, but because it is dealing with this idea of bad government actors attacking the people. Right now, President Donald Trump is just one of the people. Right now, President Trump is just one of the people. The problem is that President Trump has put a lot into making sure we, the people, have justice, have victory in our nation. In a time where people did not want us to have justice and victory in our nation, in a time where people wanted to tear down our nation, in a time where people are working to destroy, God has given us an opportunity to be able to learn the law, to understand. And in the meantime, we were able to watch Trump make policies that help the people to get what they needed. We saw Trump make policies that allowed for people to come together who were different races. We saw the economy booming. Now, these are things that we would look for in a servant. Trump was a servant. The main issue that we're dealing with in regards to this prosecution is that the real truth is that Trump was following orders. Trump did what the people wished for him to do. In the several states, many people came to us and said their government officials and legislators didn't want to do audits. We saw attorneys and different people who never liked being conservative popping in telling everyone that they shouldn't do audits. They should just go canvas and they should do these other things. All the while they let the ball drop. They came as if they were playing the game to help America get better, and they let the ball drop. They let our business fall. And now we're dealing in a situation where we see politicians, lawmakers, judges, and attorneys out of control, prosecuting anybody they can for personal reasons, trying to stop people from being able to stand up politically. It seems like they're trying to run our nation into the ground. So, what I want to do is I want to ask you guys for a big, huge favor. I want you guys to stand in. I want you guys to stand in. Remember, when we look in the Bible at the story of Gideon, we find that God knocked down a whole massive army with 300 people. Didn't need that many. And lately, we've been seeing powerful fighters who have learned the law, knocking down things that no attorney, no government official, no big name person, no billionaire could knock down. It was you guys standing up and doing what was necessary to fight bad actors and save businesses. And it was you guys who took the knowledge and information and wisdom to be able to go and fight cases against entities like CPS that were unlawfully taking children, trafficking children. It was you guys knocking down mandates, stopping people from being able to force vaccines. It was you guys standing up. It was no big name government official that brought us remedy. I give God credit for all of that because we could not learn the law. We could not stand and we could not be strong unless He allowed us to go through some things, gave us the knowledge and wisdom in order for us to be able to give that knowledge and wisdom out to others. So many of the things that have shifted and shaken around the nation, government officials now listening to the people, you guys ordering government officials and telling them what to do, those things are the unthinkable. But God has allowed you to do them in real life. You guys are witnesses. You guys will be able to tell your children's children, and they'll be able to tell future generations of what God has allowed us to do. I'm thankful to God that He didn't give us a big name that could say they did it all on their own. I'm thankful that God didn't give us someone who can say that they're self made, but He let the people, the regular, lowly people, step in and take massive action. And so, what I want to do, guys, is I am going to release the notice that I'm telling you ahead of time will knock down the bad actors who are trying to arrest Trump. I'm releasing documents that most of you have never seen before. I told some of you guys that we sent the notice to Donald Trump in 2020 and it shook the whole DC. I told you guys that big name people were afraid because they knew that they were about to lose their opportunity to persecute America. And so big name attorneys ran out to the media to try to leak the information of what we were doing because they were so concerned that Trump was actually going to do all the things we demanded. And so we fast forward into this point today. We know that Trump started to investigate. Arizona legislature started to investigate for the same reason. They understand that there were people who were running elections who did not follow the law. We have seen in recent history, as I've been telling you guys for years, and many space holders laughed. I say, guys, when they don't run an election the way that the law says an election is to be run, it is null and void. We see in Connecticut the same thing. We see where a judge said, you got to redo this. And in other places, you got to redo this because you guys didn't follow the law to do the election. You can't count this as an election. Now, rightfully, if the people did things wrong or purposely failed to follow the ways of elections, they should be in prison. But the issue is that many people have failed to learn the law. They failed to stand on that which is true. But now, guys, we're getting ready to take it to a higher level. When you look at what happened to the ATF, we were able to tell you guys 2 weeks to a month ahead of time that we were going to do a notice that was going to destroy the ATF. When we stopped businesses from getting shut down, we were able to tell you ahead of time, hey, we're going to write this notice to government and do these few things, and we're going to stay open with all of your entities. Many people thought it was a joke, but thousands and thousands of people were able to benefit because they listened and used the truth, the real law. We see now the Brewing case and the cases after that showed that the ATF had no power to do what they were doing in arresting people unlawfully for keeping weapons, which is people's lawful right. And that has turned around completely to the point where they are left almost without any power. We also see that we told people ahead of time that we were going to give the administrative state notice where we knocked down administrative courts. And then we told you guys we're going to send out notices and affidavits, and the Supreme Court is going to flip and watch. Within 2 weeks to a month, they'll be looking for cases in order to knock that down as well. And we told you that Jim Jordan will be calling in the ATF. And guess what? It happened. And there's many, many, many other things that God has allowed us to do. But today, guys, we have the document together right now. We're not doing a documentary, guys, and begging for wicked people to let our people go. God already did that with Moses. We're coming today and we're bringing real remedy, real law, real truth, real facts, something that you can do where you could take part in history. In other words, I'm saying make this your baby, right? I wrote the document, but make this your baby. It is real law, real truth, real fire. You're going to hear it in a second. This space will only be maybe 18 more minutes. I'm going to keep it shorter than we usually work. I'm going to show the notice, and then I'm going to let somebody read it, and I'm going to try to open the door so that we can come back on Rumble because it's so late, and I can actually visually show the document. Um, but I wanted you guys to have this before tonight is up. I realize that this is one of the most important works that we could possibly do at this time. Is not just about Donald Trump, guys. He's just getting unlawfully persecuted. The issue is that they're unlawfully persecuting tons of people, thousands of people, right? Hundreds of thousands of us are suffering over foolishness, and we need to stand up for each other. I personally know of the documents we sent President Trump because I took part in helping the people write them. And so when you sign this Jotform electronically today, it will go immediately. I'm asking you to please share it with others. Now, not only do I want you to share it with others, and Mr. Pilsner, if you could, if you can get the Jotform to show up in the chat bubble, the purple pill down there, that would be great. And I need someone who would actually read. I was hoping that Jared would come on. He's our normal reader now, but I don't see him. So I am looking for someone else who is willing to read for us and make history. If you want to raise your hand, and I can send you the Jotform inside of uh, Telegram, please let me know. I sent it before I came here to Nick D, to Pilsner. I think I got it to Riley. I pray so. But I need somebody to read for us so we can hear the law and the setup that we did. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not. In 2020, I set up different orders for Trump and other government officials to do. And when I sent those, got people to send those documents were orders from the people. When you look at the fact that they're orders from the orders from the people block other government officials from ever being able to interfere with what it is that they did. You guys see me release something that I did with Karen Fan just a few days ago, where I set up so that Karen Fan could not be prosecuted or attacked for doing the Arizona audit. For many of you guys, you can see that the DOJ and Perkins Coie were extremely upset with Karen Fan for ever doing an audit for the people, but they knew to not attack her. That was on purpose. We did notice to Perkins Coie, we did notice to the DOJ, we did notice directly to William Barr several times. And so they knew that we were ordering Karen Fan to do this. If you guys watch the video from 2020, 2020, or 2021, you'll see where I distinctly told Karen Fan never to say the words fraud and to always say the people asked you to do this, the people ordered you to do this. And in that way, the government officials could never interfere with the work that she was contractually obligated to do, nor could she ever be prosecuted for obeying what's in the constitutions, guys. So we got a lot of lawyers around, a lot of people who are trying to say they're trying to bring remedy. and they're causing us to tank as a people because they're not showing us the lawful remedy. So now I'm going to ask Pilsner if you can see the document I sent you, and if possibly you would like to read it, as we are getting ready to make history, guys. Riley Flack posted it. I can allow one of you to speak if you would wish, but I really need you guys to see what it is that God has given us to do. And guys, when I tell you it is the most quaking, I mean, powerful and mighty notice you might ever see, guys, is fire. Hey, today, how's it going?
Hey, hey, hey. I'm in there. I was in a space yesterday. I mean, earlier today, I wasn't expecting to be in, but
Well, I was keeping this a secret because we got some bad actors who are trying to attack and stop the people from learning. And as you can see, I let it out a little bit that I was going to be doing this, and then
hmm
Twitter blocked one of my posts. I put a picture of the Bible, their own picture.
right. I saw
Yeah, when
that.
I put the picture of the Bible up, remember that Katie Hobbs got me removed from Twitter
Yep.
January 2021 because
Yep.
I was telling people ahead of time how I was going to make the legislature get the audit, and I was literally like play calling. I was saying, "Hey, okay, look, guys, y'all want to see the legislature come to work?" And they're like, "Yeah," I'm like, "Watch this." So I do the notice, and then six of them come off of break to start investigating. And then I said, "It's not enough. We're gonna get more. Watch this. I'm gonna send another notice." And then 20 something legislative body members came. And then I started quarterbacking. I said, look, the board of supervisors and Katie Hobbs doesn't want us to get an audit, but I'm gonna get one right in front of her face by God. Watch what God can do, y'all. And we walked y'all through the whole process of getting the audit. Well, right now it's about to happen with the prosecution of President Trump. Now, I do have someone here named in personam jurisdiction. He is one of the best law minds in the entire nation. Not because he's just smart, but because he has wisdom. He understands God's word and he actually steps in and does the work, and he leads others to do so. He has brought some of the most brilliant, powerful, God fearing, and mighty politicians I've ever seen in my life. Actual lawmakers who are shaking this nation. Now, guys, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people getting prosecuted unlawfully over Trump getting prosecuted. That junk is about to stop by God. So we're going to open up the mic so you guys can hear this fire that we're about to drop. You can sign this digitally, and it's going to go to the prosecutors in the Trump cases. It's going to go to the federal legislative member, Jim Jordan, which is going to pass it out to everybody else as he's been doing with all of our notices. We're going to give it to the Supreme Court, which is looking at what's going on very closely with these unlawful prosecutions. And you can take them and print them. This is going to be a keepsake for you because God is doing a new thing. And you guys are going to see that you, as the people, again, have the power to flip the nation. When you sign this, it's going to give you a choice to print out a PDF. You could take that and send it to your local legislators. Guys, this law that you're about to see right now has never been revealed. The law that is inside of the first affidavit that's in the document is mighty and powerful. And nobody knew in 2020 we were setting up to stop bad actors from persecuting anybody who fought for us way back then. So this goes to show, guys, when you start to understand knowledge and wisdom of the law, you don't just realize what you need to do to save the nation, but you start to realize what you have to do to protect the people who stand up for you as good public officials. In personam, are you here, sir? You have to unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Can you please read the notice for us that we are going to have the people take part in? We are going to see if we could get Pilsner to put a link in the chat bubble so we can all start signing and telling others to sign. Guys, this is your stuff. We can make this move as far and as fast as you want to. It don't take a whole bunch, but I think after you see it, you'll realize why as many of us that can should get rocking on this. Pilsner just put it in the upper thing, the Jumbotron. Go ahead, in persona.
Okay, this is alter, reform, and abolish. The people's notice and demand of awareness and stance on supreme power. I, Chris Noyes, one of the people, as seen in the 50 state constitutions, sui juris, do present you with this notice that you may provide due care immediately. Please take notice that the people have been awakened to their duty to assemble for the common good in order to instruct our servants as the agents and trustees of government. See evidence of trustee position below. Virginia Constitution, Bill of Rights, text of Section 2, people, the source of power. That all power is vested in and consequently derived from the people. That magistrates are their trustees and servants, and at all times amenable to them. Please take notice that there was never a grant for government officials to have elections by other means than that which was prescribed by the constitutions of the people, and doing so is an attack on the rights of the people and dissolution of government. See evidence from John Locke's 2 Treaties of Government below. Section 216, 2 Treaties of Government. Thirdly, when, by the arbitrary power of the prince, the electors, or ways of election are altered without the consent and contrary to the common interest of the people, there also the legislative is altered. For if others than those whom the society hath authorized thereunto do choose, or in another way than what the society hath prescribed, those chosen are not the legislative appointed by the people. Please take notice that Locke, an authority on English law, claims that the government is prohibited from carrying out elections in ways not laid out by the fundamental law by the people. It is therefore the guaranteed right of the people to seek redress for insurrection against their power and will. And please take notice that 2 of the people, as well as others from 50 states assembled, guaranteed by state constitution and federal rights, ordered President Trump and other officials to investigate into these matters as there was widespread election irregularities witnessed by many people. And please take notice that Senator Karen Fann received over 100 affidavits and saw it fit to perform a full forensic audit by the will of the people, though attorneys and other actors wished for her not to. And please take notice that the same affidavit that ordered Karen Fann to do an audit ordered President Trump to investigate and to seize all machines because of government officials at one time ignored the will and right of the people to access their ballots and materials of the peoples on elections. The people made claim that the government officials were acting in insurrection because they changed the ways of elections and did other underhanded acts, like take money from Facebook and changed election procedure without foundational law allowing for such acts. And please take notice that President Trump is the servant of the people, and the people realize that whenever any government should be in danger of maladministration, they have the power to reform, alter, or abolish government in such ways as may be deemed expedient. All federal officials have already swore to this absolute right because it stands as part of many of the state constitutions. See evidence below. Virginia Constitution, Bill of Rights, text of Section 3. Government is instituted for the common benefit. That government is or ought to be instituted for the common benefit, protection, and security of the people, nation, or community, of all the various modes and forms of government. That is best which is capable of producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety, and is most effectually secured against the danger of maladministration. And whenever any government shall be found inadequate or contrary to these purposes, a majority of the community hath indubitable, inalienable, and indefeasible right to reform, alter, or abolish it in such manner as shall be judged most conducive to the public weal. Georgia Constitution, Bill of Rights, Section 2, text of paragraph 2, object of government. The people of this state have the inherent right of regulating their internal government. Government is instituted for the protection, security, and benefit of the people, and at all times they have the right to alter or reform the same whenever the public good may require it. Missouri Constitution, Bill of Rights, text of Section 3, powers of the people over internal affairs, constitution, and form of government. That the people of this state have the inherent and sole and exclusive right to regulate the internal government and police thereof, and to alter and abolish their constitution and form of government whenever they may deem it necessary to their safety and happiness, provided such a change be not repugnant to the Constitution of the United States. Please take final notice that we, the people, are in unison and understand that our servants are simply trustees and agents, and you have no power to carry out your own will, nor the will of any foreign interest. We, the people, therefore, put you on notice in the love of Christ, letting you know that the people notified President Trump of issues with the elections after the 2020 elections. The people demanded him to obey the Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, and his own Executive Order 13848 by right. Therefore, prosecuting him for investigating, speaking about, or attempting to get to the bottom of all election issues is without good faith and maladministration on the part of all actors interfering with with the people's contracts found in all state and federal constitutions. Please see the below maxim. If you believe you have been granted authority to prosecute the people's servants who are obliged to follow their contract, rebut this notice with a sworn affidavit under the penalty of perjury showing where you have been granted these powers. Please respond within 7 days publicly showing these powers, or you agree that you are attacking one of the people's servants with full knowledge, malice, and intent. And you understand the people have the guaranteed right to establish new government and constitutions where their safety and security can be attained, as the people learned of the wicked king at the founding of this free republican form of government. As one of the people, it is my demand, wish, and order that all prosecutions over insurrection and like claims be immediately dismissed in the interest of justice. President Trump, as seen by the attached affidavit evidence, was compelled to obey his contract. Maxim, no guilt attaches to him who is compelled to obey. And then we have evidence of the affidavit that was sent to Karen Fann and President Trump.
Can you see that, Chris? Can you see the actual writing in the affidavit?
Yes, I can.
Can you read that for the people so they understand and know what we set up all the way back in 2020 to protect any government official that took part in doing the people's business, and in order to get the Arizona audit, as well as Trump to be able to have power to go after all issues with the audit. Now, with auditing what they were doing, let me give you some back information. William Barr came out of the news and said at one time there was no election issues, and Trump came to him and asked him, and I have it on video. I put it in a video for you guys after the Wisconsin trip we went to that exposed a lot. William Barr came out and said, Trump told me that he wanted to go take the machines, and I told him, no, we can't do that because we don't have probable cause. Guys, this affidavit that we're showing you now proves there was probable cause because we gave testimony and affidavits proving everything that happened in people's own hand. This is what remedy is about. Sometimes you cannot kill everything that's wrong at one time, but you have to build and set the traps because you see bad actors actively trying to block justice. And if you're patient and you use the wisdom of God, you'll put everything in place to knock down everything wrong while at the same time protecting everybody good. Chris, please read for us so the people can hear their business and what was sent to President Trump that caused the fight between Sidney Powell, Cipollone, and Mark Meadows and those guys in the White House. This is what shook up the whole DC, guys. And we have the signed copy of the affidavit with the date that it happened so you can know what happened with the people's business. Go ahead, Chris.
Forewarning, I may struggle with Josh's handwriting, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, from Josh Barnett to Karen Fann. Claimant, Josh Barnett. Arizona Legislature. Every member individually and all members collectively. Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. Katie Hobbs, Secretary of State. Respondents. Notice of treason. Notice of maladministration. Demand for President to enforce Executive Order 13848 and all associated powers. Notice of change in contract terms. Notice of right to arbitration. Notice by affidavit. Affidavit of treason. Comes now affiant, one of the people, as seen in the Arizona Declaration of Rights, Article 2, Section 2, Arizona Constitution, sui juris in this court of record do make the following claims. An affidavit was already sent asking for independent forensic audit, and the acquiesced on that notice. The legislature has been given notice that I instantly requested an independent audit, but that they guarantee to me, as stated in Arizona Constitution, that only legal votes were counted. Arizona 2, Article 7, Section 7. They failed to perform the independent forensic audit. They swore by oath that only legal votes are to be counted, and they cannot guarantee that without the audit. Please take notice that Article 7, Section 7, Arizona Constitution, 7, highest number of votes received as determined of person elected. Section 7, in all elections held by the people in this state, the person or persons receiving the highest number of legal votes shall be declared elected. The Arizona Constitution clearly shows that out of the votes, scrutiny must be done to reduce them to legal votes. This is sworn to by all workers in the state as part of the agreement to work for the people of Arizona. The audit of the votes and systems is the right of the people to know all elections are equal and free. See constitutional provision below. Arizona Constitution, Article 2, Declaration of Rights, 21, free and equal elections, Section 21. All elections shall be free and equal, and no power, civil or military, shall at any time interfere to prevent the free exercise of the right of suffrage. Please take further notice that Arizona civil officers guarantee that they will not interfere with the right of suffrage, yet a civil court found election flipping and then decided to seal the evidence which is necessary under Article 7, Section 7 of the Arizona Constitution, thus providing a foreign-owned company assistance and preventing the people from determining legal votes. Please take further notice that any attempt to prevent the people from having an independent audit immediately will be considered as a trespass and treason against the people if there are not constitutionally granted authority that the above specific public officials can present to rebut these claims. Please take further notice that there has been an insurrection by government workers to bypass the people's rights and block an audit of the machines, software, and processes used to certify an election as using only legal votes. Please take notice that you, President Donald Trump, are hereby ordered to bring justice by using all necessary powers. You have to follow your oath as seen in the United States Constitution below. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and on the application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. Please take further notice that the people of Arizona hold all political power, and the legislature, governor, and public officers have been involved in maladministration and treasonous acts. Therefore, the people are demanding for you, President Donald Trump, to quash this insurrection and the theft of our republican form of government and invasion by government officials who have abandoned their oaths and are protecting a foreign enemy. Arizona Constitution, Declaration of Rights, Article 2, Section 2, Political Power, Purpose of Government. All political power is inherent in the people, and governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed and are established to protect and maintain individual rights. Please take further notice that any denial of the protection and maintenance of the people's individual rights is maladministration, treason, and an insurrection. This affidavit and contract and change of terms, this is an affidavit and contract and change of terms. Any man or woman who denies these claims are true must rebut them under penalty of perjury in the form of a sworn affidavit. Any man or woman who decides to suppress this affidavit agrees to pay $30,000, and any disputes by any public officials or private actors who are bound by the contract to the Arizona Constitution agrees to have these matters heard before an arbitrator of my choice. Any man or woman denying these claims are true must rebut these claims point by point within 3 days, 72 hours. Failure to respond means that by acquiescence you agree that all claims are true. Failing to respond with constitutionally granted authority which gave you the power to disregard the people's rights mentioned in this affidavit and contract means that you agree to have this affidavit used against you as treason, as evidence of treason, insurrection, and maladministration. You further agree that once the 3-day time period is up, this affidavit becomes truth and law, and that all matters must be considered adjudged, and that no court has jurisdiction to rehear these matters, and that these witnesses against you shall be considered sufficient for conviction. Remedy shall be had by giving the people a full audit of every machine used for voting, all associated software, all evidence of voting fraud, any evidence of dead voters, and any other voting related items or information that may be necessary to carry out an independent audit. Verification.
Okay, we're good. So everybody realize, tell what day that was, please.
This went out, this was sworn before, the jurat of the certificate was the 13th day of December in the year 2020.
Okay, guys. So realize they did the only full forensic audit in American history based on this affidavit. If you pay very close attention, we made sure that no courts would ever be able to hear this matter. It's over. So when they failed to respond by affidavit, Karen Fan she knew right away, this could be really bad if I don't do what the people say. And then Karen Fan and I ended up with a very good relationship, and I walked her through the process of stopping the DOJ, stopping Perkins Coie, et cetera, and us doing notice to block them. This is why the Arizona full forensic audit could not be stopped. You're reading the real stuff right here. Now, this was sent out by Josh Barnett to President, I sent it to President Trump. Josh Barnett wrote it. We mailed it to Karen Fan and Trump, but we knew people might try to interfere. Another woman named Stacy also sent a copy through Sidney Powell. And I'm going to tell you how you know this is true. You remember the night that Patrick Byrne, Sidney Powell, General Flynn, and all those guys were at the White House, and they found that one of the White House attorneys ran out and said, Trump is trying to use the Insurrection Act. They didn't understand, the attorneys didn't understand what we were doing. The attorneys seen where we said there's an insurrection by the government officials who are changing the ways of elections, and they got spooked because they realized they were about to lose everything they were trying to do wrong all at the same time that night. And so they fought to tell Trump not to let Sidney Powell be a special investigator for this situation and have this clearance. And Patrick Byrne and others said that they saw them physically about to fight Sidney Powell. The reason they were about to fight is because they knew back then that we had a document that was so tight that no attorney could stop it. No government official could stop it. But William Barr, as he showed, tricked Trump into thinking that he did not have the right to go take the machines. But anyway, Karen Fan in Arizona read this too, and she realized, I'm not going to be the one to drop the ball against the people and get in trouble because, yes, this is treason. I can see clearly that things are happening, and we got 127 affidavits where people from around the counties were saying, look, they forced us to use a marker. I don't know why they gave me a Sharpie. They snatched my pen out of my hand and made me use a Sharpie. My votes were already my vote was already put in by somebody else before I could actually vote. Right? They made me, they spit my vote out the machine and it wouldn't go through, and then they were able to adjudicate it themselves. Now we got all this testimony and evidence in people's own hands so that we could prove that things happened that did not normally happen. And so when we did that, it was the only way that the legislature got jurisdiction over the situation because it wasn't a judicial process. It was trying to find out what was going on so that they could write future legislation to make sure it couldn't happen again. Well, we did find things wrong in that election, but that's not even the point. Pay close attention to the fact that when we sent these affidavits out to Karen Fan and the Board of Supervisors, we CC'd Donald Trump and ordered him to take the stuff. We ordered him to investigate into it and quash the insurrection, right? So if you look at that maxim that was at the bottom of the notice that all of you guys who decide to, we're not forcing you to, but you can do it if you wish. The maxim, which the maxims of law are the foundational principles of law. If you have one of these in a case and the other side doesn't have one, you automatically win as long as it applies. The maxims are the most powerful foundational law. This is how we stop the ATF. This is how we stop OSHA. This is how we knock down the UAW with the forced mandates. This is how we did all that stuff, thousands of victories by just using the maxims, fundamental law, and the constitutions. So at the bottom, it tells you that the person who is obeying their contract, right? The person who is obeying the people, that's what the contract is. Trump has a contract with us. He started digging in because he got notice way back then. The law says that that person cannot have any guilt when they're obeying what they're compelled to do. Guys, we have proof with two affidavits. The other affidavit is in a case by a woman named Burke, who is in Arizona, who turned in her version of the affidavit, and I seen proof of it. And that went to Trump as well through Sidney Powell. So that's two affidavits ordering Trump to take action. So, guys, the maxims, there is no attorney in the government. There's no judge, there's no scholar on Twitter or Facebook or anything else that will ever be able to rebut what you just saw. Because we did the action already, hit it, and waited patiently, and kept knocking down bad things along the way, and they had no idea what we had. There is no way for them to go back and rebut. If they ignored it in the beginning, you see that no court can rehear this matter. They can't take it to court again. It stands as evidence of truth and law, and they agreed by tacit acquiescence is game over. So now everybody who's trying to prosecute Trump can be imprisoned by the people. Here's how. The people are going to send in this notice. The Supreme Court is already on fire, and the federal legislature, because they know that we know we can restart everything and remove seats because they're not following the law. This is why Jim Jordan is going so fast. Every time we tell him, hey, fix this, fix this, fix this, immediately Jim Jordan, within a week or two, does everything we say. Now, another one just popped up about the WEF and the World Health Organization. A lot of you guys didn't know this, but when you guys were concerned about the World Health Organization and WF taking us over, our people did a notice. We sent thousands of them out, and Jim Jordan and those guys are investigating them now. And you see the Senate Republicans saying, let's defund them. That's because our notice let them know you don't have the power to give our power over to a foreign actor. And if you think you can, you'll dissolve your own power as government, and we can just take back over again. So go ahead. It'll be 1776 in a peaceful way. We Look, we don't have to take back government again. The people own government. So we'll nicely allow you to make a good decision, or we'll just use the law and do it without you. And right now, people are seeing remedy. So the government actors are doing what we say. When we sent out notice in Wisconsin, and one of our students went a couple of weeks ago to the legislature there and tell them to move forward with the impeachment, within an hour and a half, you saw it there. The last time he went, a few months ago, he told them to impeach with a notice in front of you guys, and it happened, right? Mayorkas, his impeachment articles, 2 weeks after Leanne posted the document, and we all sent it out for them to do it. The 230, Section 230 issue, we did a notice. You saw Jim Jordan call them in and showed that, hey, you guys are not following the law. We're going to have to fix this, right? ATF, knocked down to nothing. Exact same thing. Guys, this is your chance to take part in one of the biggest things we will see in our history. Let me tell you, if you decide to sign this electronic document, it's like DocuSign. You sign your name. It's going to have the date. You autograph your name, and you print out your name, and that's going to be it. It's going to automatically submit to all the actors that it needs to go to, and I believe a ton will go. Our biggest number we sent was 15,000, and that caused the Supreme Court to destroy the administrative state. Which, when we were destroying the ATF, using the Supreme Court and the federal legislature, we said, we want y'all to go destroy the administrative state and all these legislative tribunals that are not courts. I can show you guys the notice tomorrow if you guys want me to. And you'll see immediately they went after all of those courts and started pulling cases on their calendar to destroy the issue. And they're speaking the same words that are in the notice. They're not even common words. Administrative tribunal or legislative tribunal, that's not something that the average man or woman says, but it is happening right now. So, guys, we are putting this notice out today. You guys have it. A lot of you guys are sending it. It automatically goes to the actors that need to see it. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be part of something very big in history. It may or may not happen in the very near future that you might see President Trump drop some fire on all of his cases. And it might get real ugly. And I think his document might be better than y'all's. Maybe or maybe not. How would I know anything about that? I don't know. But I'm just saying, if it was, President Trump might get a little bit smarter over the next couple of days and understand that he has a power that nobody has taught him. There's attorneys around that may not have shown him what God has given him the ability to do. But I'm going to tell you today, tomorrow, right? It might be possible that he might find out that he has a power to do something about this situation because he hurt the people. But I'm going to tell you what, you guys are going to be first. For those of you who decide to sign and forward it to everybody you know, guys, you can make a difference. Print it out. It gives you an option to print it out or save it. Print it out, guys, and keep it and stick it up on your wall and watch God. This nation is flipping, guys. We have some of the most powerful legislators I've ever seen, God-fearing, powerful, and mighty people that are changing things in America right now. People standing up on godly principles. I want you guys to pray for them and their strength. God is doing a new thing. The people and their politicians, their legislators are talking again. They know each other again. And we're seeing people who are legislators who just want to help the people being able to free up power that has been stifled and blocked from them. And so, guys, I still have service tonight. And I wanted to take the time out to come and give this to you. You never know what'll happen to you. You never know if you'll live another day. But I thought it would be fit for the people to have knowledge and understanding of the work that's been done behind the scenes. Where do I sign? You sign on the document. You just click on it, dear ma'am. Guys, I want you to know that I didn't want to go to sleep with something this powerful in my hands. I wanted to get it to you guys. I know it's late. Please forgive me, but it just got done a little bit ago. And so I wanted for you guys to have this document printed out. You can send it to your local legislative body members and government officials as well. But guys, they cannot prosecute Trump when the people ordered him to do it. We are the masters. Trump is a servant. There is no prosecution. All right. So, guys, I wanted to give this to you. I love you guys all. I thank you guys for coming. I ask you guys to share this and get it out. I got to get ready for service. I dropped everything I had to do, guys, to get this to you, but it is that important. And let me tell you, this is not about President Trump. President Trump is somebody who's getting unlawfully persecuted right now. He's just one. But there's January 6ers that are being unlawfully persecuted. There's people who burned up our cities and towns from Black Lives Matters and Antifa who never got justice. They just did whatever they wanted to do because it was convenient for the left or for people who were bad, right? And I don't even want to just say the left because there's some people who are liberal that don't believe in doing some of this dumb stuff these people are doing, destroying the nation, right? What this is about is right and wrong. And I'm going to tell you, if you let people prosecute people unlawfully or attack the servants who serve you, right? The servants who serve you are making it possible for things to be fixed. You don't ever let anyone come at, attack, unlawfully prosecute your people who are doing the job we gave them to do. They're putting their life on the line for us. They're giving what they have for us. Trump gave for us, right? Not that he's perfect. I don't like the stuff about the vaccines, right? but I know that he helped the economy get better. And so when a servant does a good job, guys, we got to be real and say, yeah, that job was good. And when a servant has not broken the law, we can't allow people to use our name, we the people of America, right? We can't allow the people to use our power in order to prosecute and persecute people unlawfully. We have literally seen this man be prosecuted from the day he was elected all the way, persecuted from the day he was elected all the way up until now. How much more could we have done in America if he could focus? Right? If you're not fighting Russia collusion and stupid fake accusations and fake FISA courts, how much more would the nation be ahead? And some of you guys are feeling the pressure of gas prices and economy knocked down and storage containers that were shipped from overseas that's sitting on the border that they won't let trucks pick up because they're purposely destroying the economy. Pipelines locked down. Guys, this is your nation. You don't have to sit by and allow people to destroy it. Now, guys, we're not going to stop here. We're going to fix this Trump prosecution by God. It's going to go away. And then what's going to happen is we're going to continue to knock down the stupid things that these people are doing, and we are going to get justice. Now, let me tell you one more thing. As you read this notice and sign it, make sure you understand what it's teaching, because you're going to be able to teach the next person. And knowledge dispersed broadly, the diffusion of it is what our forefathers, even in Virginia, who just got done beating a king, said is necessary to keep a free state. Not having the most guns, not being the person with the biggest name or having $1 billion. Literally, when you take knowledge and disperse it as broadly and as quickly as possible, it saves the people. They needed us to be ignorant, and now God has blessed us with knowledge and wisdom. Share it like crazy, guys. Make this your baby. You can share it wherever you need to. Don't change it, though. However you need to share it, because we, the people, are taking the nation back. I love you guys. I thank you guys for taking part in this historic moment. You will be able to keep this copy laminated. You laminate it in 2 or 3 pages or whatever you need so you don't cover up part of the pages, okay? Just helping you. So you can show it to your children. Show them that God let you be part of something big and that you saved America and you brought back the republic the way that it's supposed to be. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Give yourself a pat on the back tonight. Give it to other people. Tell them to give themselves a pat on the back. Encourage them, guys, because the Lord is with us and God is bringing us to better places. I promise you, you're going to see it soon. The nation is shaking in a good way. Don't look at how things just look now. That's cheating. Walk by faith and not by sight. Do those things which are written, and you're going to produce a result that you can't imagine. I thank you guys. I love you. I will catch y'all later. Y'all be cool. Share this everywhere. I'm going to try to put it on Rumble if God let me live. Y'all pray that I live. But if I don't, I love y'all. Y'all some amazing fighters. All right. In Jesus' name, amen.